Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd Chrisley breaks silence on son who betrayed him in Resurfaced video. Since their presidential pardon, Todd and Julie Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best fame have been sharing quite a few stories. In addition, videos of their lives and what they shared have also started to resurface. Recently, fans have drawn their attention to a video where Todd shares where he stands with one family member in particular. Todd Chrisley talked about one member of his family in a recently resurfaced video. Todd Chrisley originally became known to audiences through USA Network's Chrisley Knows Best, which originally ran from 2014 to 2023. In 2022, Todd and his wife, Julie, were convicted over a variety of charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. However, the two were released back in May thanks to a presidential pardon. Since then, Todd and Julie have shared their side of the story with various outlets, including their own podcast. In his personal life, Todd shares 3 children with Julie: Grayson, Chase, and Savannah. Todd also has 2 children from his previous marriage to Teresa Terry, Lindsay, and Kyle. As mentioned, while Todd and Julie have shared new revelations since their imprisonment, previous videos the family have released, even before the presidential pardon, are also starting to draw attention. Taking to social media, one video that has recently caught fan attention was one involving Todd talking about his son Kyle while working on Chrisley Knows Best. Todd appeared to be answering questions from fans during a live stream with the video. At the time, he addressed that Kyle will not be back on the show. He will not be back on the show at all with Chrisley Knows Best. Todd assured, "I love Kyle dearly. I wish him nothing but the best. And I hope that he's getting his life straightened out. But at some point, you just have to say whether or not you're good for each other. And I think with the things that Kyle has done, and the things that he's, fabricated about his family just to sell a story to a tabloid, that's probably more than what any of us can kind of get past right at the moment." However, at the time, Todd mused on the concept of forgiveness, saying, "But you know what? With God's will, time has a way of tempering all things, and that is certainly my prayer, that, at some point, Kyle will come to peace with his family." Kyle previously talked about his relationship with his father at the time of his parents' presidential pardon. "And we can all move forward. We don't approve of the company Kyle keeps, and so as long as that's involved, we can't invite that back into our lives." Todd then mused, "As a reality television personality, people have a right to ask questions about his life and his family. However, he also noted that fans don't necessarily have the right to have these questions answered." During the original run of Chrisley Knows Best, Kyle mostly appeared in the first season, though he made an appearance in the 8th season. As fans know, Kyle previously expressed, "I'm going to remain hopeful that another reconciliation is possible," concerning him and his father during the time of his parents' presidential pardon, in a statement with E! News. Last year, Kyle previously shared with In Touch that he hadn't spoken with his father in over a year. He shared, "I don't really know why, but he hasn't responded to my emails, and he doesn't call. I was actually going to attend the hearing, but I was told my dad did not want me there. I believe someone even said they would have me escorted out if I showed up." For months, the Chrisley family name has been tangled in a web of scandal, speculation, and silence. But now, Todd Chrisley, the once proud patriarch of Chrisley Knows Best, has finally spoken out from behind prison walls about a painful betrayal that, until now, had remained unaddressed. A newly resurfaced video of his son, Kyle Chrisley, leveling shocking allegations against him. The video, allegedly recorded in early 2019 and only recently gaining viral traction online, shows Kyle in a dimly lit living room, unscripted and raw. His voice shakes with emotion as he accuses his father of manipulating everyone around him and being more concerned with public image than family healing. The video's tone is one of hurt, not hatred. A son wounded by years of estrangement, addiction, and complex emotional dynamics. It wasn't long before the resurfaced footage reached Todd in federal prison. And while the world expected silence or perhaps a carefully filtered legal statement, what came instead was something no one predicted: a handwritten letter shared by his lawyer,
You don't betray
penned
family,
by Todd himself. But sometimes family betrays you. The letter, 7 pages long and signed at the bottom in Todd's signature flamboyant cursive, was addressed not to Kyle directly, but to the public. The tone was uncharacteristically somber. Gone were the sharp-toned quips and bravado the Chrisley patriarch was known for on reality TV. In its place was a man weathered by prison, humbled by loss, and grieving a betrayal that, he said, cut deeper than any federal conviction. Forgiveness is a concept I have leaned on since entering prison, Todd wrote. It is not easy, not clean, and not immediate, especially when the wound is from your own blood. He continued, the video that has now gone viral shows a version of my son that I know all too well. A version shaped by addiction, anger, and pain. I don't blame Kyle for being angry. I blame myself for the time I lost trying to fix everything around me instead of the person right in front of me. A complicated father-son history. Fans of Chrisley knows best know that Kyle Chrisley has long been the family's most troubled figure. His battle with bipolar disorder and substance abuse has been public and painful. He was absent from most of the show's early seasons and only resurfaced later when he appeared to be on the mend. Yet, the resurfaced video seems to capture a relapse, not only of Kyle's personal struggles, but of the emotional rift between father and son. Kyle accuses Todd of using him as a storyline, alleging he was only brought back into the show when the ratings started slipping. Todd, in his letter, denies this outright. My love for Kyle never depended on ratings. It depended on hope. Hope that he would heal, hope that he would come back to us, and yes, hope that I could be the father he needed. But perhaps the most emotional part of the letter came in its closing paragraphs, where Todd wrote directly to his son for the first time in years. Kyle, I still pray for you every night. I pray for your healing, your sobriety, your peace, he wrote. You may have tried to bring me shame, but all I feel is sorrow. Sorrow for the years we've lost, sorrow for the wounds we both carry, and sorrow that it took prison bars for me to realize that control doesn't equal closeness. He then extended what he called a public olive branch. When I'm out of here, if you're ready, I'll be waiting. No cameras, no scripts, no PR teams, just father and son. Julie Chrisley breaks her own silence. Though she rarely addresses family drama publicly, especially since her own prison sentence began, Julie Chrisley released a brief statement through her daughter Savannah. Family is never perfect, it read. But we love our children through the highs and lows. That's what parenting is. Kyle, if you're hurting, know that we're still here. Savannah, who has stepped up as caretaker for younger brother Grayson and niece Chloe, was more pointed in her reaction. On her podcast, Unlocked, she said, I've seen what my dad goes through in prison. I've seen him try to hold this family together with nothing but letters and faith. And I've seen what Kyle's been through too. This family is broken, but it's not destroyed. Chrisley fans react, realer than reality TV ever was. The letter sparked a massive reaction from fans and critics alike. Longtime viewers who once dismissed Todd as too performative now praised his vulnerability. Social media flooded with comments like, "This is the Todd Chrisley we've never seen, raw, humbled, and human, and sometimes rock bottom brings the most real redemption arcs." Others were more skeptical. Some accused the letter of being a PR stunt with calligraphy, while others questioned whether it was too little, too late. Still, one truth rang clear through all the noise. Todd and Kyle's relationship is a wound that no prison time or TV contract can stitch up easily. Where do they go from here? As Todd continues to serve his sentence, it's uncertain whether Kyle will respond, publicly or privately. Sources close to the family claim Kyle has remained silent since the video's resurgence, declining all interview requests and avoiding online commentary. But one anonymous insider claimed Kyle watched the video go viral, and he read the letter. He's not ready to talk, but he's listening. For Todd, that might be enough. In the final lines of his letter, he included a quiet plea, one that captured a softer side the world rarely saw on USA Network. I can't undo what's been said, and I can't unsay what I've done, but I can love you from here, and I do.